Hello. On January 13th, 2017, the White House Office of the Press Secretary released President Barack Obama's proclamation for the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., making it that day a federal holiday. When the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. shared his dream with the world atop the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, he gave mighty voice to our founding ideals. In summoning a generation to recognize the universal threat of injustice anywhere, Dr. King's example has proven that those who love their country can change it. A foot soldier for justice and a giant of the civil rights movement, Dr. King lifted the quiet hopes of our nation with the powers of his voice and pen. Whether behind his pulpit in Montgomery, at a podium on the National Mall, or from his jail cell in Birmingham, he beckoned us toward justice through non-violent resistance and oratory skill. Dr. King fought not merely for the absence of oppression, but for the presence of opportunity. His soaring rhetoric impelled others to take up his cause, and with struggle and discipline, persistence and faith, those who joined him on his journey began to march. America was watching, and so they kept marching. America was listening, and so they kept sounding the call for justice. Because they kept moving forward with unwavering resistance, they changed not only the laws, but also hearts and minds. And as change rippled through and across the land, it began to strengthen over time, building on the progress realized on buses, in schools, and at lunch counters, so that eventually it would reverberate in the halls of government and be felt in the lives of people across our country. Dr. King taught us that, quote, the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of convenience and comfort, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy, end quote. Although we do not face the same challenges that spurred the civil rights movement, it is our duty to secure economic opportunity, access to education, and equal treatment under the law for all. The arc of the moral universe may bend toward justice, but it only bends because of the strength and sacrifice of those who reject complacency and drive us forward. As we reflect on Dr. King's legacy, we celebrate a man and a movement that has transformed our country. And we remember that our freedom is inextricably bound to the freedom of others. Now more than ever, we must heed his teachings by embracing our convictions. We must live our values, strive for righteousness, and bring goodness to others. And at a time when our politics are so sharply polarized and people are losing faith in our institutions, we must meet his call to stand in another person's shoes and see through their eyes. We must work to understand the pain of others, and we must assume the best in each other. Dr. King's life reminds us that unconditional love will have the final word, and that only love can drive out hate. So that was the proclamation given by Barack Obama in 2017. Wow, those words still mean so much today. We have a lot of work to do.